What's up, folks? Ethan here at Hunt Ford in Franklin, Kentucky, and I've got something different for you. We're going to take a look at a Chevy today. Now, this is a 2025 Chevy Silverado that one of our customers traded in with only 87 miles on it. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to take a look at it and give you kind of my first impressions based on a Ford dealer's look. Now, I know what everyone's going to say. You're a Ford dealership and you're looking at a Chevy. This is going to be a butcher. You know, it's not going to be fair. You're not going to give it a fair shake. And, you know, while that may be the perception that you have, I do really want to take a look and see, what is competitive in the truck market. We were the #1 F-Series dealer in the state of Kentucky last year, and we've got a lot of Chevy stores around us. So it's kind of like a 1A, 1B, and a kind of 1C with the Rams. And we just really want to see what, that looks like in terms of our competition. And if you want me to, I will take a look at this side by side with an F-150 and go through everything individually so we can really see what has what compared to each other. Y'all just let me know if that's something you'd be interested in down in the comments below. While you're down there, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so and hit that notification bell. That's one of the easiest ways for you all to see our videos as we post them. We're really trying to do a lot more with this channel here in the new year. So what we've got here is a 2025 Chevy Silverado RST in slate gray. Now, I'm not a Chevy expert. I'm not going to pretend to be here. Now, from what I can tell, this kind of sits in the XLT Sport price range. Now, the RST is going to be the Sport Appearance package, and it's going to sticker for somewhere around $61,000. This has the 5.3-liter Ecotec V8, and it's got a 10-speed automatic transmission. What I want to do is I want to walk around it, give you kind of my first impressions based on how it looks, and we'll go from there. Up at the front, I do think it's got kind of an attractive looking front end. This does have the body color styling to match everything. I've never really disagreed with anybody when they say that Chevy looks good. This doesn't look too unlike anything we see on the lineup. It does appear that we've got some LED lights up here at the front with body color accents in the grille, body color bumper. Again, pretty similar in line to an XLT Sport. It's got a similar kind of scheme to the XLT Sport wheels. It's got that darker gray with chrome-ish accents. Because this is an RST, it's going to be a sport kind of tire, not really very off-roady. I like that the mirror caps are actual painted. They're not paint matched, but they do have actual paint on there rather than having a lot of this molded plastic. But I am noticing that on the other side, there is no blind spot monitor here. That is one thing that's really nice on most of the F-150s, if not all of them nowadays. This is a crew cab, and it does seem like it's pretty good size. I don't know. I mean, from a glance, it doesn't look any bigger or smaller than an F-150. It looks about like a standard full-size truck. And a lot of Ford guys are talking about how ugly this is, but I am a fan of it as a shorter person. And, I really just feel like they fit well inside the bumper. Of course, it's paint matched here. There's your RST badge. And this does have a power tailgate that goes down. Sure. Pretty good spray-in bed liner here. And it looks like we've got a 400-watt outlet here in the back. Obviously, getting an XLT Sport with a power boost is going to give you a bigger kind of inverter generator in the back. But, 400 watts is a pretty good starting point. One thing I really do like that I played around with earlier is these seats don't actually require you to pull a lever to lift them up. You just pull up a certain amount and they'll start to come up and down. Same kind of deal there. Jet black interior here. The cloth feels pretty good. And you've got a USB-C and a USB-A charger here in the back. Now, the one thing I've always noticed with Chevys is that the interior kind of feels a little on the not cheaper, but, not as high quality side from Ford. I do think these new Chevys, they've done a little bit of work too. I like the horizontal screen. This one has a Bose sound system, power seats. We've got our trailering numbers here. So it looks like we've got a max payload of 1,821 pounds, which is going to be pretty similar to, a F-150 of this size. Now, one thing that I really did like from my perspective is that you can actually do either full heated seats or just the heated seat behind your back. That's something that Ford doesn't do, and, I'm not terribly mad about it. I like the, customizability of that heated seat. I've never been a big fan of the, skinning or the way that the screens look on the Chevys, but that's just kind of a personal preference. Plus, I've been around Fords for, almost 10 years now. A lot of that does just come down to my, point of view and my perspective, but it does look like it's pretty good. Seems to be pretty responsive. That one's taking a little bit. You got navigation here. Looks like it's powered by Google Maps, which is pretty nice. I guess if you hook up a phone, you'll get a little bit more of a updated view every day. So that could be good. Of course, you got this strange all windows button, which I'm not sure why you would need that, but, it does single-handedly take down all of your windows, so that's cool, I guess. Pretty similar to Ford, you've got a hidden glove compartment. It looks like Ford's might be a little bit bigger at first glance. And then, of course, you've got a regular glove box down at the bottom. See the inside storage here. Yeah, not quite as big, but it looks like it's got a little better organization. Oh, no, it does actually open up even further. Yeah, still probably not as big, but again, a little better organization. This is kind of nice. I like the several compartments. Ford goes lengthwise that way, and it slides back and forth. This is pretty nice here. I'm actually relatively impressed with that. Wireless charger is actually separate from the glove compartment or the center console, and so it looks like you can either have something plugged in or have a wireless charger, and, it's still accessible. Now, if you hit a big bump, it might slide back in there, but, it is what it is. Looks like you've got a 120 outlet here. So, yeah, that's actually pretty nice. This is my biggest gripe, I think, with the 2025 Chevy that I've seen so far, is I'm not a fan of this style shifter. I don't know if this is new for the 2025 or this has been around for a little bit, but I cannot do shifters like this very well. So you press this button on the side and pull back to get into drive, press and push all the way forward for reverse, and it is a single button to get into park. It's kind of like a BMW style shifter, and it never jives with the way, or it never jives with the way my brain works. I'm not quite sure that I would be comfortable driving with this on a day-to-day basis. Ultimately, I'm a column shifter first preferable. I will do one of these. I've got an F-150 Lightning right now, and it is a shifter on the center console as well. This style just really doesn't work well with me. But you do have paddle shifters for when you put it into, I guess, sport mode, which I haven't exactly found where the drive modes are. Oh, okay, there we go. I forgot. Everything is all on this side. So your drive modes are over here. It doesn't do as much of a graphics change as it does for Ford. That's not required, but I do like the way it looks on Fords. So you've got normal, sport, off-road, and terrain. Terrain looks like it's going to request you to go 4 high. Off-road is less picky about what mode you're in. So we're going to put that back to normal. And, the V8 sounds good. I'll give you a couple revs. So, yeah, So all things considered, it isn't really that bad. I know a lot of people were expecting me to get on here and kind of bash this truck, and it's competitive to afford. I think a lot of this stuff does come down to personal preference. I'm not a fan of the way this truck drives. It feels almost kind of sloshy is the way that I would describe it. When I turn really sharp, typically we'll do a drive where we'll go all the way down to the end and have a full 360 turnaround to get back to the dealership. And it feels like I'm almost leaning into the turn, like almost like the truck is a little bit top heavy. And, that's not necessarily my favorite thing in terms of the way a truck drives. I had a 2023 Ranger that drove pretty similar to that. It looks like they've addressed that on the 24 models. And it just also seems that the steering's a little looser than the F-150. I like how pretty responsive the F-150 has in terms of how quickly you turn and how it responds to the vehicle. Other than that, it seems like it's a pretty competitive truck to Ford. I don't spend a ton of time in new Chevys, so whenever I get the opportunity, I really want to check it out. So if I have a customer who is, looking to trade one in, I can talk about that a little bit more because I understand where they're coming from in terms of their truck experience so far. So you all let me know, is Ford kind of gaining an advantage in this 2025 model year, or are they still pretty equal? If you all want, I will line this truck up right next to an XLT Sport, and we'll take a look at them kind of side by side. We'll go over all the kind of feature differences and all the comparisons and all that. I know that that's interesting to a lot of you, so if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, let me know down in the comments below. But that's a quick look at this Chevy truck that I don't really get to check out very often. If this is something you all want to see more of, we do get some of these in from time to time. Just give me a thumbs up and I'll be happy to keep doing it. That's about all I've got for you today, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.